All right, hood politics this week in the show on the news. First of all, thank you for everybody who pulled up to the Real Ones 3-year anniversary. Shout out all the new followers. If you don't know, when I'm not doing fake cumbia, pretending like I know how to do all that, I talk about politics on the internet. I also write rap songs and poetry, and I own a coffee company. I'm a busy man. This week in the show, we're going to talk about some people who need to have several seats, who've had the most lukewarm, just weirdest of takes about things that would make anybody's auntie say, boy, if you don't sit down somewhere. So we're going to tell some people to go and sit down somewhere, including but not limited to former President Donald Trump, the leader of the Secret Service, Benjamin Netanyahu, and all of us, including the media, for thinking we truly understood the guy who tried to shoot President Trump. In the news, it's pretty much official. Auntie Kamala running for president. She got all the delegate votes she needs to actually win. Now she got to choose her running mate. She has to choose between a white boy and another white boy, a white boy that wears a yarmulke, or a white boy married to another white boy. I mean, come on, guys. We assassinated the first Catholic president. These people were so mad that Obama existed. Y'all know some of them people had the nerve to blame Obama, President Trump's assassination attempt. You talking about a man 2 presidents ago? These people rushed and tried to burn down our civic institutions after we elected another white man. So she got to pick a white boy. We're in America. Around the world, Iran got crashed out. Wow. Look, he don't want no peace treaty. Now, Farouk Shakur, he a leader of Hezbollah, so he got popped in Beirut. If you anywhere around my age, Beirut ain't new to this. He was the dude that claimed responsibility for those rockets that hit that little park in the Golan Heights. Israel was like, we need to get our get back. So right now, Israel feel like Inglewood family in the 70s, just surrounded by rivals. Not only that, in Tehran, in the capital of Iran, political leader of Hamas, Ismail Haniyeh, he got popped while he was there for inauguration of the new Iranian president. Now, if you know the rules, it's quite a violation to pop somebody in a hood that they supposed to be good in. This brother lives in Qatar, and he was out there just on some friendly stuff, and he got popped out the sky, my G. Now, they blaming Israel, but Israel to this day hasn't taken credit for this one. And what's crazy about this dude is he was the guy that was responsible and was a part of the peace negotiations that was happening in Qatar. If anything, y'all done killed the most reasonable out of all of them. And you know what happens when the reasonable one gets popped? Find somebody unreasonable to take his place, which is something that anybody who has studied in the least bit how conflicts escalate, it's like this. Obviously, Iran took that very personal. We're not even done talking about the crash outs. There was a whole other crash out in Iraq, and this one was by the U.S. We had to crash out one of the spots called Kutaib Hezbollah, which is not the same Hezbollah, but backed by the same people that back Hezbollah. This connection, the Houthis, Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran, they're called the axis of resistance. Take a guess who they resisted, what they resisted. Either way, again, if you understand how the street works too, who started it ain't really a question. You can't decipher that. I'm just praying everybody can run for cover. Shout out the National Association Black Journalists. They was not giving Donald Trump no breaks. Homeboy answered the question. Which leads me to something very funny, which was how Donald Trump just completely threw that man J.D. Vance under the bus as he's fighting all the memes. They asked that man if you think J.D. Vance is up for the job. That man Trump was like, well, the vice president really don't matter. If you JD watching that, you hear that man say the vice president don't matter. It don't matter who. It don't matter. You voting for me. Trump be keeping it a buck sometimes. And led to this last thing about why it is so difficult for America to understand biracial people. It's because race is a stand-in for caste in America, a social construct designed to divide us. Now, does that mean I ignore it? No, because it's the world we live in. We live in a world that is stratified by the institution of race. So the idea of her saying, I thought she was Indian and all of a sudden she black, like, okay, either you playing dumb or you truly don't understand what biracial is like. She's both, my G. Also, you mean the lady with the silk press and the pantsuits that went to Howard University and is a member of the AKAs? Gonna convince a room full of black people that we don't know black people when we see black people? Was that the play? The DEI call ain't work, so now the play is, oh, she really ain't with y'all? That's the play? But if you understand really how race works in America, ain't no such thing as a dark-skinned white girl. That's a light-skinned black woman.